What is going on, everyone? We're gonna give me a sec. I have to log in something real quick. If my voice sounds off, it's because um, I am maybe sick. I don't actually know. Hold on. We're gonna be watching the Destiny 2 showcase. Technically, it's already started. They've already continued. I'm a little bit behind because I had to do something really quick before this thing actually came on. So now we're doing everything right now. So yes, we're not watching it live, which would have been cool, but that's also contradicting because if you think about it, I'm just watching another live stream. It's like you're watching me, watching you type shit, right? Our journey continues. R.I.P. Lance Reddick. We'll miss you, Commander. Why is this in a different fucking language? Hold on. Fuck. Why is it in a different language? Do they have the showcase in different languages right now?
Very personal journey.
Hold on.
Where we deepen our relationships with these characters that we've.
There, we'll start from there. I was so confused. I'm like, why is that in a different language? Yeah, let's go full screen again. It still's in a different language.
Oh my gosh, where are we?
Okay, maybe I'm not tripping, but somebody fucked up.
Game over, credits.
Oh my God. Holy crap.
About time we go to the moon.
Was that a darkest ship behind Okora?
So happy Eric is back.
우린 너의 구원이다.
Wait.
Somebody definitely fucked up. I wonder if they did that shit on purpose to make it sound like an anime.
Holy crap. This got me feeling things.
Who the fuck does? Oh, whatever. I don't care. Just another thing that Destiny does. The fuck?
I'm afraid.
What? Traveler just did a Death Star!
Oh my god. What is he doing? No way.
Oh my god, was?
I don't know anymore, dude. There's always something random through these showcases. They put the fucking thing in 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Run that shit, bitch. Alright, let's get into it.
Thanks for tuning in, y'all. Like many of you, I've been playing games as long as I can remember. They're a core part of what makes me who I am. I believe there's this deeply rooted, often unstated mission of games to keep adventure alive. In 2014, Bungie set out to start a new adventure. Heroes awakened on a desolate planet. A silent god set in our sky. And it wouldn't be long before an ancient enemy, shrouded in darkness, showed up at humanity's door to destroy us. Over the years, our heroes would shape a story far greater than anything we could have imagined. Players would explore deep into the depths of Venus, hunting a machine god that controlled time itself. They'd invent ways to combine their mythic weaponry and their paracausal abilities to stand alone against monsters that took others, an entire elite squad. They'd race alongside their friends far into the early morning in the halls of an ancient city where only a select few emerged victorious at dawn, clutching the heart of a dragon. But most importantly, they'd bring their friends and their family into this world, and together meet new faces on this adventure who would become lifelong companions. Now, Together, we approach the final shape. We're about to embark on the last expedition of Destiny's first saga. So let's be clear about the stakes. In the final shape, you will go inside the Traveler. The journey will be difficult. And what awaits you on the other side of this trek is nothing less than the deadliest entity we have ever faced. There will be no open betas. There aren't going to be any guides on the internet telling you how to handle what's to come. Whether you've been with us from the beginning, joined us somewhere along the road, or looking at Destiny for the first time, anybody who shows up on launch day is going to be greeted with this same uncharted world, a vacuum-sealed experience begging for you to be the first person to peel it open.
I'm wondering what
So
that
today
means.
is your invitation to go forth and adventure.
Let's see what you got.
After all these years, we never talked about it. Why I brought you back.
What the fuck? The old travelers, or the old fucking city's back.
Chosen. The truth is, I didn't know then. It was just a feeling. But I know now. After all we've seen, all we've lost, this fight might be our last. So I'm asking you one last time.
Hold on. I'm gonna go back for a second.
So I'm asking you.
Okay, so like two different disciples now. One that wields Strand, and it looks like one that wields Stasis.
One last time. To rise.
Wait, hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Why are there 6 people? Become a legend.
This is a momentous time in Destiny history. We've been building to this moment for the last 10 years.
The final shape is the conclusion to that journey. This is a moment in gaming that as a developer, you just don't get very often.
Guardians and allies are fighting the biggest threat that the universe has ever seen in this big culmination of the Light and Darkness saga.
When we were thinking of what the final shape could be, it had to be a lot of different things. It needs to pay off this epic confrontation with the Witness that we've been setting up for years. It has to bring you closer to your allies in the Vanguard. It has to be this place that like makes you feel nostalgic for the entire journey you've been on.
When we were resurrected by ghosts at the very beginning of this story, we didn't know why, but it was for this. The Traveler is asking us for help. And it's our responsibility to protect every living thing in the universe from what the witness intends to do.
When we first start the final shape, we are finally able to go through the portal that the witness opened in the Traveler at the end of Lightfall.
Inside is the pale heart of the Traveler. That is the stage for our showdown with the witness.
The witness has the darkness. It has always had a connection to it. The pale heart of the Traveler is what it's trying to use to gain connection to the light. So with both, it can enact its final shape.
The witness looks around and sees a lack of purpose, no meaning. It wants to fix all that. So it's trying to put the universe into this frozen perfection where everything's just exactly how it thinks it's supposed to be. That is the final shape.
If we're going to defeat the witness, it's going to take everyone. Failure is not an option.
We're going to need the Vanguard, all of our allies, and all the Guardians to rally together and be brave in the face of oblivion.
In the final shape, we're going to answer questions.
Okay, this is the one question I have. How the hell did the old tower end up in the Traveler? Like, it still exists. It's just like rubble, but I guess the Traveler in its head created the old tower in its embodiment. That's very interesting, though. I don't understand that, but that's a very interesting concept. All right.
Questions at the grandest scale. But what I find really interesting is that it's also a very personal journey where we deepen our relationships with these characters that we've known for so long. Zavala, Ikora, our ghost, get to reconnect with Cade 6. So, like, while there's this great conflict and everything going on around us and stakes of just unimaginable heights, it's still at the end a story told around campfires by a bunch of companions who have been fighting together for hundreds of years.
That would be like a really cool screen background. That looks so cool.
In the final shape, we're going through the portal that the witness has opened up.
Pre-alpha footage.
In the final shape, we're going through the portal that the witness has opened up to confront it and stop the final shape. Inside the Traveler is just infinite, vast, unknowable. And we're landing on the Pale Heart, which is a fraction of really what is inside the Traveler.
The Pale Heart is weird.
Fuck that. Look at that. I don't know what that is. That is fucking cool. The mouth like vomiting like black and gold, like a substance with like the faces. That's cool as shit.
The Pale Heart is weird. It's a little strange. It makes you feel a bit uncomfortable. And it is also just so cool and artistic in the best way.
The witness entered well ahead of any guardians, and so it's had time to kind of shape what's there. When our guardian enters, the rest of the Pale Heart starts getting shaped also around what we've experienced.
This is the Traveler recreating the world in front of you as it saw on your journey.
Traveler's
one of the most
making
memorable locales from
my
Destiny's
memories.
past is the D1 Tower. It's really a labor of love from the Destiny team. The final shape means so much to everyone who's building it, and I think players are really going to be able to see that.
The Pale Heart is our very first linear destination that we've ever done. I would love it if players felt that they began their journey in a place of safety and feel it escalate in danger, in surrealness, because there is this beautiful evolution of the space.
They see things that are more and more wrong as they begin to go towards the witness's monolith. It's kind of this omnipresent, foreboding thing off in the distance.
The weirdest things happen as you get closer to the monolith in the form of reshaping. Kind of like deconstructing things and putting them back together just wrong.
The sense of scale you get out there, like as you're exploring these spaces and you're jumping on these reshaped cuboids of Earth, you feel tiny as a Guardian. You feel alone. You feel like you are not the force to be reckoned with that you have been. You're not the God Slayer right now. You're just this little person jumping from these massive pieces to massive pieces.
One of the things that we really tried to also capture is that the witness keeps throwing everything it has at you. And so you're going to fight these new enemies, the subjugators.
Subjugators are the new unit you're going to be facing in the final shape.
What happened to tormentors? I want to fight the tormentors again. Fuck the subjugators. I want to fight a tormentor. They got rid of the tormentors to create subjugators? Fuck.
Subjugators are the new unit you're going to be facing in the final shape.
They don't look that scary.
They have an enhanced power set.
Oh, fuck. Never mind.
They're performing stasis powers and strand powers to face the Guardian, while in support of all the other enemies you're fighting too.
They bring something entirely new to the battlefield, which is kind of this element of control.
They're back there pinging away with stasis abilities, throwing crystals at you, freezing you in place, tangling you up.
We're focusing you on the campaign and only the campaign. It's the most important thing in the universe at that moment. You have to stop the final shape from happening.
And for that, we do need the help with our allies. And so we're going to make sure that the core Vanguard team gets back together. Zavala and Ikora and Cade.
The campaign is just the start of the Pale Heart. After you've reached the monolith and finished the campaign, we open up the entire destination. And so the entire Pale Heart is going to react to you and what you are doing.
The campaign in the final shape doesn't really end with the final mission. The raids are where you defeat like the big bosses. So it's only natural that when you are going to confront the witness, you're going to do that in the raid. But that might not be enough. This is a moment where we need to rally all Guardians to be able to overcome the final shape and the witness.
What are they doing? Spit it out. You're doing something weird.
In the final shape, we are inside the Traveler, very close to this energy. This allows us to have new supers, Arc, Solar, Void.
We want to create something that turns you into an offensive powerhouse, but also can benefit your allies in a support capacity. There is this thread of team play and like working with your friends to overcome the odds.
Are they
The Warlock
redesigning
Super
ability
is
again?
this ultimate expression of solar energy coursing through your Guardian. This solar.
Please tell me they're not redesigning the abilities again. There is no need for you to redesign the abilities. They're done. You just did 3.0 for the past year, or like past, was it a year? Like for like the past year or two. Like I would understand mods, but like, or maybe changing some abilities, but please don't change that shit.
Warlock Super is a callback to of solar energy coursing through your Guardian. This solar Warlock Super is a callback to Radiance from D1.
Other than Golden Gun, this is the only other first-person super in Destiny right now. Your melee's like all of these projectiles going off, doubling the amount of projectiles. Your grenade almost being sentient as it searches around, and then it hits a character and bounces off and goes to another one. And you're so overflowing with this energy that you are also giving it to your allies, allowing them to have their solar weapons supercharged, applying.
Why the fuck do you always gotta touch some shit? Why do you have to do that? They always gotta touch some shit, bro. They always gotta touch some shit. I love if you guys don't know, I am a warlock main, and bro, I don't know if this is gonna be good or not, so I can't judge it right now. But I like how my solar warlock currently works. Right, I got the whole like projectile thing where I can just do like that and it goes straight forward, or I got the snap, and then that does 3 bursts. Now it looks like my grenade is a fucking falcon that just goes to attack people, and then my actual abilities are different now because now it's supercharging anybody that has solar weapons on them. So I don't know.
Flying Scorch when they're shooting.
The new solar warlock aspect, when I cast my rift, it is going to create this little solar soul that when it sees an enemy,
fine.
It launches part of itself out and hits the enemy and explodes and scorches them.
It just feels very alive.
I mean, that makes sense because you have Arc Buddy and then you had that Void one. Why shouldn't Solar have that as well? But I'm assuming that they didn't add that in there just because Solar already had Well of Radiance, so that would be too much OP. So I was like, all right, well, that's fine. I guess that makes sense.
Twilight Arsenal.
Twilight
It's
Arsenal?
a layered super.
This is the only ranged one-off offensive super for Titans in the game. The Titan jumps up into the air, summons this giant void axe, throws it, summons another one, throws it, summons another one, looks at a different group of enemies, throws it. And when these axes fly through the air, they stick into the ground or an enemy, do their void gravity thing where they suck a bunch of energy and enemies in and then explode. But that doesn't destroy the axe. The axe sticks around, and you and your allies can go and pick up that axe and start wailing on enemies with it.
This super is insane to me.
The Void Titan aspect, I press and hold my grenade button to consume my grenade and turn it into the shield. The more damage it takes, the more it charges up, and then I can release that, and it creates this blast that deals massive damage.
I don't know if that actually might be one of the better
Arc
ones.
super.
Arc is all about finding the shortest distance.
Wait, why are you changing that one? Okay, so I'm not happy about the Solar Warlock. The Void Titan actually might be probably the best one. I don't understand why they're changing the Arc Hunter. The Arc Hunter is fine. That literally is probably like the most powerful one. Or are they, wait, quick question. Are they adding supers or are they like changing supers? That's what I'm confused about. Because if they're just adding them to make them 3 like how they used to be, you know how like when on the original tree you could pick between 3 supers? I'm assuming that that's what they're doing, but I don't know that. That's the issue. But if they're just replacing them with certain things, then that's where I'm going to get upset. But if they're just adding it to where, like, hey, it's back to 3 super abilities that you can pick through. Like, hey, you can pick, like, Gathering Storm or Well of Radiance. Or I know those are, like, not the same thing, right? Because those are 2 different abilities, right? But let's say it's, like, 3 separate arc abilities, and I understand that. Because right now it's only 2. I would understand that, but if they're like, hey, no, like when we did 3.0, it was bad, like we couldn't figure out what to do, so what we're going to do is we're going to replace one of them and put this in, I'm going to be upset. Because some of those already work the way we want them to. But now I'm wondering, I'm like, what are they doing? They might as well, I feel like they're just adding one to it, but I might be wrong to where it might just be 3 and 3. We're like, hey, every super or every person has 3 supers that they have an ability to choose from if they want to. They haven't really explained it that well. They're explaining whatever, but I don't understand why they're changing fucking Arc right now. For
the Hunter Arc super.
Arc is all about finding the shortest distance between 2 points. The Hunter kind of rears back, takes this knife and throws it across the world, and then is able to blink to its position, do the slash that just decimates anyone nearby.
One really great thing about that
wow, bro, y'all couldn't have came up with anything actual fucking like new? Sorry, I'm gonna be very fucking critical about this fucking showcase right now, because last year I was very excited about the showcase and I got screwed over. So I'm gonna be very, very critical of this, just because I'm not trying to get I guess I'm assuming let down again. Like when it comes to the final shape, I am not even expecting anything good. I'm not having my expectations high. Like that was like for Witch Queen, it was like kind of like the middle. Like I didn't know what was gonna happen. I didn't know if it was gonna be good or not. Right. For Lightfall, I was like so excited. I'm like, oh my god, they finally got the recipe down to make a good story and make a good campaign because they just came out with fucking Witch Queen. There's no way they can fuck this up, and they did. But if it's not like one of the best endings that I've seen in a video game in a long time, I might quit playing this game. But that's just a little bit of spoiler for the other video that I might put out in a second. We'll see. But the only reason why I'm being critical is because, like, especially on this one, right? This basically, what they did is they took the... So they didn't take... Well, I guess they didn't do... They used basically, like, the dart effect for, like, one of the grenades. For at least for the arc ability. And then they use blink, obviously, and then they use like the slashing effect from Strand. So that's why I said, wow, you guys couldn't come up with anything original for that ability. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's cool, right? You throw a knife, the knife sticks in the ground somewhere, it starts arcing a little bit, and then you blink to it, and then you literally do like a Strand type super to literally wipe out a group of people. But the thing when it comes to that, right, is that I feel like supers are supposed to be like damaging. I feel like that's just gonna take care of a few people, and that's also not gonna do as much as a lot of people think. That's why I'm like wondering, I'm like, there's like a lot of like low range supers, which I'm assuming is what they were trying to do when you think about it, right? Because there's probably like low range supers and then high range supers, and then there's like mid-range supers, right? So like supers that are like there's supers that are like super quick, supers that are like mid-tier where they're like like it doesn't feel like a medium amount of time, and there's supers that take very fucking long. I'm assuming the supers that take very long are the ones that normally the mid ones are fine because it like kind of like you are able to put a ability down and it's able to fuck up somebody for a minute. So
not just you do it once, but you're able to do it 3 times, along with
I should have kept going
each
then.
time you do it.
The hunter has an aspect. We take our staff, we twirl it in the air, which propels us upward. It creates this burst, which amplifies you and any allies near you.
It almost makes it feel like you're playing a fighting game, right? Like these combos that you're chaining together to do these different moves. It like takes that sandbox to the next level.
The more aspects we have, the more capable we are to do that.
It feels like you're like riding the lightning, you know? Like that instantaneous, like...
That was good, but I think it's more like... You know?
I like it. I like it.
Weapons team has been working on all sorts of goodness. We've got exotics, we've got legendaries, we've got perks. We're always cooking up stuff. We're always playing with stuff that we think is like really interesting or taking inspiration. We have Tessellation, which is this exotic pyramid fusion rifle.
Quick question. Right now, we're missing a bunch of exotics that were promised to come out during Lightfall, right? There's like, how many exotics are we missing that were like in the posters? Like we have that gun, right? Like the pistol, right? But there's a lot of fucking... Okay, actually, you know what I'm actually gonna say, right? The weapons that came out in Lightfall aren't bad. But the story, I feel like the story really fucked me up, right? And that's why I think is like an issue, right? I could care actually less about gameplay or actual fucking guns in the game if you have a good story to tell me, right? Because Destiny, when it comes to video games, however long I've been playing this game, is like the kings when it comes to a story, right? Because they're really good at telling a story. So that when it came to Lightfall, I'm like, yo, like this shit is bad, bro. But right now we're missing a few exotics, aren't we? I'm assuming they're gonna come out within the next couple of years, like in another raid or dungeon or whatever. What is it? Yeah, there's a dungeon I still haven't fucking done, but I honestly have lost fucking ability to fucking play this game right now, dude. There's no fucking point. I'm assuming there's a few exotics that were supposed to come out with Lightfall and just never did, or they're coming out later in the year, but we'll see. We'll figure it out later. I mean, I bought it, so I'm going to still play it, but honestly, this is what I'm going to do, right? So, for Final Shape, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to say it now, so I keep myself accountable. Yes, me buying the $100 one might be necessary, but in my opinion,
has the really intriguing property. It's like really interesting or taking inspiration. We have Tessellation, which is this exotic pyramid fusion rifle. It has the really intriguing property of adapting your Guardian's current damage type.
This will be the first time that you can run a weapon that can adapt to be strand or stasis in the energy slot. So you'll be able to run an entirely strand or entirely stasis loadout. Tessellation has the additional property that you can special reload to reshape your grenade and suck it into the weapon, and then fire out a super destructive single projectile. It's a really special weapon.
What's the one specific exotic that I can make that's like really zany that you would like right now?
What if Golden Gun was a sniper rifle?
What if you could harness the might of the Traveler? You know, we had a moment where we saw that Traveler beam cutscene. I know people on Weapons went, I kind of want that. You're like, that is incredibly dope.
Wait, okay. So they have Tessellation, right? Which is basically a pyramid artifact turned into a gun that uses stasis and strand. And then we have a sniper rifle that basically is Golden Gun but a sniper. And then we have another gun, which I don't think I can actually go back and show you. Hold on. And then we have this gun that uses the power of the Traveler in the beam to basically, it's a trace rifle, I'm assuming, to basically shoot out projectiles of light. Not bad.
So we've got this opportunity to bring back these iconic Destiny 1 weapons, but really turn it into something that feels unique in Destiny 2.
We have to bring Kvotov into the fold.
The Red Death exotic pulse rifle.
And Dragon's Breath. Burn the world, burn it all.
Kvotov is coming?
In the Final Shape, we have new weapon subfamilies coming, broadening what existing weapons can be.
Really, like, bordering on exotic functionality. So, for example, we've got a rocket pistol sidearm subfamily. We always liked the special ammo side.
Wait, subfamilies of fucking guns? Wait, does that mean... Wait, is that just like a mod difference? Like, hey, like... this weapon, if you turn on like an alternate firing mode, can shoot out projectiles of rockets or become a trace rifle or become a pulse rifle. Interesting. I'm wondering if that's what they're trying to go about right now. Okay.
Sidearms. This fires tiny, slow-moving rockets. They hit very hard, do a bit of AoE damage. They have a mixture of regular weapon and rocket launcher stats. We're also doing a new support weapon subfamily.
The support frame auto rifle is a type of legendary auto rifle. It'll let you switch seamlessly from firing at enemies to healing your allies.
Wait,
I'm
what?
really excited to bring it to dungeons and keep my team alive, honestly.
Okay, now this thing is just confusing the fuck out of me. That is so... What? Okay, that is like very interesting and cool. Now this is just confusing the shit out of me. You're telling me now we have weapons that have subfamilies. The subfamilies are able to do certain things like shoot out rockets, shoot out projectiles, plus also healing people depending on what you put on. If it's like an auto rifle or if it's a pistol or if it's something else, that is weird. Interesting.
Weapons team is always coming up with new ideas. We've got a ton of new cool stuff coming over the next few years, and some new and really wild ideas, which we're pretty excited about.
Come on, take a load off. We've got a lot to cover. This place is only big enough for one dashing hero type, and that's me, so I'm back. Hey, you two, give me a sec. I was magnificent. This is great. Anyone want a hug? Get your rock off my map. Worst case scenario, you die. But who knows? Maybe you won't.
Bro, Ace of Spades is such a good gun.
Well, better get back to it.
In this moment where we're driving to the end of the Light and Darkness saga, it's great to see Cade like return to this world at this moment with all this change about to culminate with this confrontation with the long-standing enemy, the Witness.
Cade is the quintessential hunter. His presence casts such a long shadow over the story of Destiny, whether it was when he was alive or when he was dead.
What Cade goes through in this journey, how he serves as a catalyst for the other characters, the events that are uncovered to have brought him back. This is how the story had to end. There was no end to the Light and Darkness saga that didn't have Cade here alongside his friends to finish the job.
Once we started digging into the nature of the Pale Heart, I think that crystallized Cade's role as a guide. Cade is Virgil, and he's our guide through this other place. Cade is the one who is the most appropriate person to be the guide, because that's his job. That's always been
Cade
his
7
job.
instead of Cade 6.
It just feels so natural for Nathan to be back in the booth. It felt amazing to just see him slip back into the role, like, without missing a beat.
Right, instantly.
In the flesh, or metal, as it were.
Cade's the glue that's always held Zavala and Ikora together. Having him back puts them in a position of questioning where they've been and what they've done without him.
You think about the journey that Zavala's been on and how he's been taken down this dark path, and you think about the weight that's been on Ikora, having to hold the Vanguard together, having Cade's voice of levity and brightness that he brings to that group. I think it's going to be great for them.
Well, at least we have each other.
We want people to take away that sense of reunion and that idea of like the gang being back together for this moment.
I'm here now. Wherever the hell here is.
He looks so badass. Unlocking the path.
Guardian, the Witness poses a dire threat. And the Witch Queen holds the answers we seek. But only
Gross.
if we contend with her sister, Zivu Araf.
Fuck
It
that
rests
bitch.
with me. Will you come back from this?
Hell no.
Do not be afraid.
Quick question. Why does everything after the showcase always got to be some weird ass? Either it's very weird or it's fucking creepy as shit. Have you guys noticed that? Is that everything, literally the seasons after the showcase, right? Like the next season to come out is either very creepy and fucking like horror movie type shit, or it's just weird and unnecessary and like does not need to be there.
Bring me your tithes.
You now wield hive magic and have entwined it with your light. Assault the Spire, Guardian, and open the way to our tides.
Whoa.
The way to our tides.
Grenade launcher Osteostriga? Maybe? Does anybody else not think that? Or am I tripping? What are these though? These are cool. Like the little amulet things. I think they paused that there for a reason. Wait, it does something. Ooh. Oh, fuck. That's what it does. Okay.
Let them know fear. The death of whispers, and they do whisper.
Ooh, you learning magic.
Every opponent you defeat strengthens me. My appetite rises for your brutal tribute. Let us show her what it is to be Hive. You have found the horn of battle! You are deserving of the greatest death I can bestow.
Destiny 2 Season of the Witch. That's a long wait, is it? It's like 2.5 months, right? Till November. And then the next season is from December to February. Yeah. Wait, that means that this season was long as fuck.
The Season of the Witch is our opportunity as players. We've been annihilating and breaking Hive spells, and now we finally get to cast them.
At the end of Season of the Deep, we learn that Savathun has the key to getting into the portal that we need to go into. That means we have to go find Imaru, her ghost. Imaru's like, not so fast. We've got a bigger problem first. And that bigger problem's name is Xivu Arath. If we fight her, she only gets stronger. Eris has an idea. It's a really good It's idea. A wild ass idea, yeah. She determines like, well, the best way to fight fire is with fire. We are channeling all of that energy that we're creating by going through, by eliminating enemies, and we're tithing to our friend Eris.
Bring me your tithes.
That woman ain't my friend. She creeps me out every time she talks, bro. I swear to God, bro. Eris is the creepiest fucking guardian ever, bro. I don't like her, bro. And people love Eris, and I'm like, keep her the fuck away from me. I don't like that shit.
What does that mean for the characters and the player to kind of like be like Savathun? And that's where we went down the path of having Hive Eris. We wanted to extend that magical fantasy into the player then. That ability to have overwhelming magical power, that risk and reward into all of our activities and systems experiences. And so that's what led us to come up with things like Deck of Whispers. This magical deck of cards that creates amazing synergies with your buildcraft meta and with buffs and the activities.
They can then choose these cards at will, whichever ones they want, and then that really leans into the build crafting.
You actually are getting cards that you can then use to place on the battlefield and change the way you play.
I am such a sucker for deck building. Like being able to like bring that element into Destiny gameplay has just been like, oh, chest.
Yeah, bro, y'all are over here fucking building Yu-Gi-Oh in real life, bro. The fuck?
So we've got 2 brand new seasonal activities coming with Season of the Witch.
Destiny was like, it's time to duel. Literally, bro. I feel like that's what they're like thinking. They're like, what can we do? Fucking card games. Let's do that. The fuck? Oh, god damn it, bro.
We've got Altars of Summoning and Savathun's Spire.
Savathun's Spire is our new 3-player offensive. You're doing a lot more with the Lucent Hive magic, but it's got a high amount of combatant density. It's got additional random encounters that you can come across.
The Witch's Spire itself, Savathun's Spire, was like her reliquary for all these different magical experiments as she was learning the light. You're there in order to learn as much as you can in order to become a master spellcaster, right? To become like Savathun. The Altar of Summonings activity is really exciting because you can spend like 20 minutes in it or you can spend 2 hours in it.
It's a 3-player experience that you can hop in and hop out of. As you're going through this activity, you're filling the tithing bucket. As that tithing bucket is filled up, you'll get progressively more rewards. And then finally at the end, it'll cash out and you'll get a whole mess of rewards.
I ain't gonna lie, this is gonna confuse
really wanted
the
to
shit
make
out
sure
of
that
me.
there was a home for any exotic mission content coming in seasons after the year has passed. And so we developed what we're calling the exotic mission rotator.
Right away, we're getting Presage, Vox Obscura, and Operation Seraph Shield.
This is some of the most fun content the team has making. It's some of the content the fans and players of Destiny love the most. The most exciting thing, outside of just the missions themselves, is that every time we put a mission inside of that rotator, the exotic that comes alongside of it will become craftable.
So I can craft Dead Man's Tale.
With Season of the Witch, we have a brand new Vex lo-fi PvP map coming. It's really exciting. It's got a bunch of really tight gameplay.
Bro, y'all don't... Wait, what the fuck did they say?
Lo-fi PvP map coming.
A Vex lo-fi PvP map. I feel like they worked really hard on this whole like Neomuna Vex type portal, like arena type big shit, and they don't know what the fuck to do with it, so they're like, fuck it, we'll just put it in PvP. People are already complaining that we don't get new maps, right? Or they were like, fuck it, we were gonna use this in Neomuna, we did it, so we're recycling shit. I feel like they did not listen when it comes to that, because I'm like, hey, you had a whole bunch of fucking people tell you that doing this shit is stupid, right? Or am I tripping? Because I swear to God that people literally said that this shit was fucking dumb, right? Because the whole like Karate Kid type montage thing during fucking Lightfall was a fucking issue. Or am I feel like I'm losing my mind here by just talking about this shit. Because I feel like all this shit, it's like very simple shit to be like, hey, yeah, we probably shouldn't do that. Oh, well.
It's really exciting. It's got a bunch of really tight gameplay experiences. We wanted to make sure that we focused the combat a little bit more. With the new Vex network map, we really wanted to make sure we hit is like, hey, you're shoulder to shoulder more often. There's not as much deep sight lines that you're interacting with. And a lot of the flow of the map is actually built around this like kind of central pillar of the Vex network that you're orienting around.
And there's also some modes coming too, right?
We've got a new PvP game mode coming that's all about relics. It's about multiple relics, so it's not just one like the Scorch game mode from the past. So we've got the shield coming from Vault of Glass, we've got the spear back from Season of the Risen.
And we've got the scythe from Season of the Haunted.
Yeah,
Season
so you're gonna
of
be
the
reaping
Risen
Guardians
was
with
lit.
that thing. It's a lot more tactical gameplay. It's all about running around the map, claiming these relic dispensers, and then grabbing them in order to push for victory.
I will
That
take
actually is
what
not
I
that bad.
need. The words in
That's a
my
good idea.
heart are the weapon in my fist.
We were feeling pretty hypey this season, obviously. There's something in the air. And so when thinking about like, what's a good raid reprisal that would really suit this very hypey season, there's only one answer.
I don't know what raid they're talking about. Am I tripping? Is this season? No, that's not. Is it the machine? What would actually be the raid reprisal? I don't even know.
I have seen what
Oh wow.
a god.
Crotus N returns. Open to all players. Oh wow. I thought it was gonna be Wrath of the Machine. You know what I'm thinking is that they said they've been feeling very Hyvy, and I'm like, yeah, you've been feeling very Hyvy for the past 2 years, bro. You came out with fucking Kingsfall and then Crota's End. All your raid reprisals have been Hive based the past 2 years. Well, there's no way to cheese this one, is there? We got a ring. United at rest.
Heading into the final shape, we really want to rally all Guardians at the end of the Light and Darkness saga. We want to reduce those power barriers, as well as catch people up on key story beats and make sure that they have a really great and easy time connecting with other players. In the final shape, we're trying to find ways to make power more simple and easy to understand, and also lowering the barrier to entry.
It's going to make it easier for players who have not been able to jump into game easily because they were held back by the challenges in grinding for the power levels that are required by these different activities.
One of the major changes that's going to be happening starting with the final shape is there are going to be a certain number of activities that are going to be power fixed. So it doesn't matter kind of what power level you are going into it, you're always going to be able to approach it. There's still going to be tiers of difficulty that you can do, things that are just meant to be experienced a certain way.
Things like nightfall strikes that will still have power enabled, and that's where we're really going to focus the whole power climb.
The raids, the contest modes.
Okay, so I understand this. I'm gonna explain this real quick. I understand Destiny is like, I understand like getting into Destiny before in the beginning was very hard. But listen to me, like when it came to mods and all that other stuff, there's stuff I just did not fucking understand in Destiny for a long time, right? I didn't understand that, hey, to do a Grandmaster, you need to be a certain level. To do a Nightfall, you need to be a certain level. To do all this certain shit, I didn't understand that. But when I figured it out, I learned how to do it well, and I was doing really well. When I figured out mods, which took me a fucking fat ass minute, then everything became easier, right? But then, like, right now, I understand that they're trying to make everything a little bit easier, and I appreciate that, but at this point it's like they're trying to simplify everything to the point where like there is no way of creating a build or anything to like basically supplement that. There's like nothing you can do, if that makes sense, right? There's no builds, in my opinion, that you can make that not anyone else is making that would make you somehow overpowered a little bit. Like the point that like they're like lowering power leveling and certain things like that and changing mods and certain things like that, I feel like it's making the player experience, yes, better for new people, but for the veterans, I feel like now it's becoming an issue where you can't exactly do all the stuff you were used to be able to doing, which would be like, hey, like I created, like I have Osteostriga leveled up to this, like when I modified it. And then also I'm running this mod, and I'm running this armor with these stats to make it combine with this arc ability to make this go supernova and blah, blah, blah. I feel like all the knowledge that the community had gained overall made it harder. And this is the thing, right? Obviously, yes, Destiny has like a core community of people who play the game. But after that, I think right now they're more focused on, hey, like our core community, if they dip off, we're fucked. So what we need to do is make the game more appealing to new people so we can get new people to come in this game. And then if our core community just dips off, we still have those new people to, you know, balance out the game out and make it look like, hey, we're not struggling as much. Because, bro, they like their numbers fluctuate like a fucking shit ton. I don't know what they were trying to do.
That everybody loves to engage with, that experience is fundamentally going to be staying the same.
I'm excited for this because I think there will be a lot more clarity for players in terms of understanding the relative difficulty of things, where they sit now in the spectrum.
One way that we're trying to do that is making it easier for new players to engage with you. So we're introducing something that we're calling Fire Team Power.
You can actually bring your friends along to play any dungeons and raids in the game without having to wait them to be at a certain power level.
Wait, I thought they already talked about this. I swear to God, they already talked about this. Or am I losing my mind? Did they not already talk about this? Like last year? Give me a sec. I need to grab a water. This shit. What the fuck? I swear to God, they already talked about this. They literally... I don't know, dude. 1 second. So guess what? I'm going to say this before they even say it, right? Fire Team Power. Right? Because I swear to God, they've already talked about this. I promise you they have. Right? Fire Team Power is basically, this is how you sum it up. When you have Fire Team Power, let's say you want to do King's Fall. Actually, bad example. Let's do this. Let's say you want to do Vow to Disciple. Right? In Vow to Disciple, let's say your power level, you need to be 1920, but your friend is, like 1830, right? You need to be 1920 to play Vow of the Disciple, but your friend is 1820, right? So your friend's almost 100 points behind you, right? So what happens is that when you load up into a raid, you have something called fire team power, where it's going to literally move everyone up to the highest player's power level, making everything seem easier, or not making everything seem easier, but making everyone not, like, when it comes to power level wise, making them all even, right? So everyone will have the exact same power level, right? Making it a lot more easier for you to get people into doing certain things. Like, hey, I need someone for this raid. Be like, cool, we'll use fire team power. Fire team power will help everyone out. Everyone's the exact same power level. You're not capped at this power level. You can continue on with what you're trying to do, if that makes sense, right? That is exactly what fire team power is. And they've literally talked about this, unless I'm going fucking crazy and it's fucking deja vu. But I swear to God, they've talked about this already. They just didn't implement it. I swear to God, they talked about this already. Talking about fire team power, literally saying, hey, this is a way that you literally make sure that everyone, if even you have a friend who's fucking low as shit, and like he's like seasons behind and hasn't played Destiny in a while, he can still play the raid with you. He doesn't need to max up his level to anything. He just gets to play with you. And it's not an issue. I swear to God, they've talked about this already. Or I've been to the future and I know what's going on.
The person with the highest power in your fire team is actually going to bring...
Hold on. Let her say that shit again. Let her say that shit again. I just fucking told you without us fucking continuing it. And I haven't watched this before. This is live right now. I'm not watching this like live, but like I haven't gone back and watched it. I swear to God.
And raids in the game without having to wait them to be at a certain power level. The person with the highest power in your fire team is actually going to bring all the others close to their power level, which means that there's no barriers really for any other Guardian to join you in this high-level content.
When it's combined with Fire Team Finder, it also allows you to find strangers, people you've never played with before, and have that same experience. That's all regardless of the power level of you and the rest of the people in your fire team.
Fire Team Finder is the new feature that's coming in Season 23, aimed at helping connect and find other people to complete.
Fire Team Finder? Is this like their LFG thing that they were trying to put out and couldn't do because it was weird? Okay, so we can do raids, dungeons, seasonal, Vanguard, Crucible, Gambit, campaigns. Really? And other. What's other? Nightfalls and shit? Apparently you can do campaigns and other shit.
The best and most aspirational content in Destiny. We have a tag system that allows players to be able to say, well, this is my play style. I'm really chill. I'm anti-sweat. I'm just really here to have
Basically
a good time. Exactly.
Tags really allows players to show a little bit more personality, show a little bit more about what they're about. I think what's really great about it is with this launch, we're also looking at including inclusion tags.
As an example, one of the inclusion tags that we have are for colorblind players. Hopefully the inclusion tags will bring players closer to finding their community and even...
Hey, now my fucking best friend can put out he's fucking colorblind and shit, even though that doesn't even fucking bother him. That's fucking great, bro. They put inclusion tags, and the one thing they had in there was colorblindness for my fucking friend. I'm gonna call him and be like, hey, yo, they put colorblindness like tags in there for LMG so you can tell people that you're colorblind.
closer to the people that they're playing with. So once a listing goes live, players will be put into a listing lobby where players can gather, they can communicate with each other. So we wanted to make it as gather. The inclusion tags will bring players closer to finding their community and even closer to the people that they're playing with. So once a listing goes live, players will be put into a listing lobby where players...
Okay. Oh, sorry, let me go back 1 second.
Playing with. So once a listing goes live, players will be put into a listing lobby where...
Okay. So you create everything here from the fire team finder. You create like whatever you need, like your tags, join settings, fire team size, like what you need. Overall languages, like, hey, English only if you speak English, or Russian, or whatever language you have. I'm assuming there's more than that. And then you create the listing.
Our players.
And then you're like in a waiting room, which is called your listing lobby for whatever you're trying to do. And right here, I'm assuming you just pick and choose who you want. And you're like, hey, I'll take you, you, and you, right? Or if you're like, hey, I'm doing a raid, right? Or this is just like it says 6 people, right? So let's say I want this person. I already picked these 3, so then I need these 3 too for a raid or whatever. Hey, I don't want you because you're being weird. I don't want you. We won't take you. We'll take these 3.
Can gather, they can communicate with each other. So we wanted to make it as convenient and as easy as possible for players to not just sit and stare at a screen for a long time while their listing actually fills up.
As a gamer who's typically more solo, I'm especially excited about this because it really is about helping reduce that anxiety and burden that comes with trying to make a new connection. The feature coming out today that I'm incredibly excited about is Timeline Reflections. Essentially what we have done is we went back to previous expansions and pulled out missions that we felt really represent key narrative beats within our story. We are going to have a mission for Forsaken, a mission for Beyond Light, as well as a mission for Witch Queen.
Thanks for the memories, Guardian.
The neat thing about these missions is they're not going to be like one-to-one for how you would experience them in the campaign. You're also going to get additional pieces of narrative fed to you to like identify like, hey, this is why it's important that this happened, and here are the people you met along the way.
A really big one that's really timely for Final Shape is Cade's last stand from Forsaken. This is a moment that a lot of players, new and old, are going to come back to Destiny. I think this is just the right time to introduce features that are going to allow those players to jump right in and find people to play with and enjoy this content regardless of their power level.
Okay, so Timeline Reflection is a little bit confusing to understand. I'm assuming what they're doing is Timeline Reflection is like a backtrack. So you go back and basically this is what happens, right? Like, hey, you do this in the beginning. You're going to do a timeline reflection showing you a mission or whatever from this season or from this expansion, showing you, hey, this is what this happened. This is why this was important. This is the people you met. All the way up till right now, making it easier for you to understand what the storyline is talking about.
We're reaching the end of this 10-year journey. What comes next?
The episodes. And the new way we're going to tell stories moving forward.
What's really important about episodes is that it's a really big shakeup to what we've been doing. Instead of providing 4 seasons a year, you are going to get 3 larger episodes. And so the first 3 episodes in this coming year are called Echoes, Revenant, and Heresy. It's coming right after the Final Shape. And the theme for the year is going to be all about the
wait.
larger episodes.
Okay, so instead of doing seasons, they're doing episodes, which I meant episodes. Yeah, they're doing episodes instead of seasons, and episodes are 3 long seasons throughout the year, right? So like, well, so how they did it in the beginning made sense, right? Because they did it by seasons and they did 4 seasons, so every quarter it would be, because like 4 is a quarter, right? Or 4 is $1, right? So 4 quarters is $1, so is a quarter, right? It's fucking annoying. 4 seasons is $1, so like 4 quarters is $1, right? Which made sense, right? You do 4 seasons for a year, makes $1, right? Or makes a season, or makes like a whole thing. Now they're splitting it into 3, meaning that every season is, how do I explain this correctly? I'm gonna butcher this so bad. Hold on. So normally how, like, if you're doing this smartly, right, you would do it like 3 months. Every season is 3 months, right? So January to like March, then April to June, then July to September, and then October to December, right? It seems like what they're gonna do now is, especially because they start in February for every new DLC, is now what it seems like it's gonna be is that now it's gonna be from like January to April, and then May to August, and then September to December. Huh.
And so the first 3 episodes in this coming year are called Echoes, Revenant, and Heresy. It's coming right after the final shape. And the theme for the year is going to be all about the consequences and aftermath of the final shape. I think what's really the cornerstone of the episode model that we're building is the 3-act structure.
See, I was exactly right. Well, I was kind of off, actually, if we're going to be honest. Right, because guess what? They do start in February. Well, this one says March. Why is it saying March? Oh, they're in arcs. That's smart. So it's 6 weeks at a time. So it's like arc 1, arc 2, arc 3. Instead of making it literally one whole long ass season, it's split up into arcs, so like 3 parts. That's smart. Okay, so technically, right? March, April, May, June. That makes sense. Yeah. March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December, January, February. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. So yeah, it's split up into 4 months per seasons, but the seasons are split up into arcs. So there's 6 weeks, right? So like it's not like 1 month per arc. It's like a month and a half. Or yeah, it's like a month and a half per arc. That's smart though. I like that. And you split them into arcs. The arcs tell you different storylines of what happened and blah, blah, blah from different perspectives.
I think what's really the cornerstone of the episode model that we're building is the 3-act structure. The acts act as these anchors for us to introduce new weapons.
Wait, what? New exotics, new exotic missions, new quests, new stories, new archetypes, new weapons, new... Oh, mods, past ranks, past rewards, and past armor. That is cool.
New artifact. The acts act as these anchors for us to introduce new weapons, new artifact mods, new activities. There's going to be new missions coming around the core. There'll be new story moments in every single one of these acts. We're actually providing more cinematic style experiences throughout the final shape year and the episodes with it than any of the seasons we've ever developed before.
I still ain't buying it. I still ain't buying it. I swear to God, I'm not buying it like I don't believe it. I'm buying the final shape, and I may buy the next season, but I'm not I don't care. I'm being so dead serious.
Are actually playable as standalone. Like each episode is something you can experience, whether you've been playing Destiny for 10 years or this is your first one.
You're going to be able to basically enjoy them in any order you want to.
I think the opportunity with this...
Wait, what do you mean you can play them in any order?
Stories.
And the episodes with it than any of the seasons we've ever developed before.
These new stories are actually playable as standalone. Like each episode is something you can experience, whether you've been playing Destiny for 10 years or this is your first one.
You're going to be able to basically enjoy them in any order you want to.
I think the opportunity with this big epic moment is that we get to innovate the game. We get to move the game forward.
It's all about change frequently. It's all about deeper story moments. It's all about more weapons, more loot, more often. And it really provides the team with a platform to go much deeper into the themes and fantasies and story of any individual episode as compared to the seasons you know of today.
I'm so excited to see what the narrative team can do with this kind of new platform of storytelling. Episodes provides this awesome foundation for the future of Destiny.
We're moving into the next stage of Destiny 2. I think some people look at the final shape and they think Destiny 2 is coming to the end. And in many ways, it's the opposite. We're leaning in. We're putting the pedal to the metal. Episodes provide us a new, innovative way for players to engage with Destiny 2 throughout the year.
Like, it sounds like they're leaning into like the
What
factor
makes
of like,
a
hey,
guardian?
let's create like an
Devotion,
episode type thing.
Bravery, sacrifice. We know that we were chosen for a reason, by something greater than ourselves.
Guardian. Guardian? Eyes up, Guardian.
Shaped by the fires of each new battle, we are forged and sharpened into what we must become for the fight ahead. We are the final line that halts the second collapse.
All of us. Every Titan. Every Warlock. Every Hunter.
What is it the Guardians say? Devotion inspires bravery.
Bravery inspires sacrifice.
Sacrifice leads to death.
The line between light and dark is so very thin.
Let's cross it together.
There are things out in the dark that only the dark can overcome. Trust me.
You've heard the stories of the Traveler's sacrifice, of darkness descending upon humanity.
Now the race is its end.
This time, there is no escape.
Why do they keep saying become legend?
It's going to be an exciting year for Guardians. We get to make good on a promise that we made way back in 2014.
Why does he look so sad? Like, I know. 1 second. I know he's going through it. Like, I know he looks so sad and like the world is just on his shoulders. And I understand that because he's probably getting yelled at saying like, you need to figure something out to get this game profitable or everything's going down and you're fired. He looks so sad. Dude, bro, I swear to God, bro, if they just would have made Lightfall like a better story, like he would not feel this stressed out. He looks miserable.
There was classic rock blasting, a fire team racing across our solar system, and at the end, a simple message: become legend. Today, you got a glimpse at how we'll be cementing your legend in this upcoming year. We're gonna be heading inside the Traveler, experiencing a destination unlike anything we've ever built before. We'll face the biggest bad we've ever made, and we'll do this all alongside a streamlined progression system, allowing us to easily play with friends in any content in the game. And as the dust settles in the final shape, we're gonna continue our legends in Echoes. It's Destiny's first episode in a new phase of storytelling for Guardians with brand new conflicts born from the resolution of the Light and Darkness saga. These first episodes are just the beginning. But if you're chomping at the bit to see how the Light and Darkness saga is going to kick off the future of Destiny 2, we've got a ton of great content for you to jump into today. Going live after this, we've got Season of the Witch, with a new story, new weapons, new armor, new activities, and new PvP content, all alongside a series of story catch-up missions, allowing any of your friends to jump into the game and get up to speed on what's happening in this world. Then, next week, a brutal reprisal of Crota's End is going to join the ranks of our aspirational content. I can't wait to see you all in the Throne World as we learn more about the final shape. and how we can stop it.
Do not be afraid. Bring me your tithes.
After all these years, all we've lost, this fight might be our last. So I'm asking you to rise one last time.
Alright, well that's basically the end of the showcase when it comes to like actual stuff that isn't them actually just sitting on a couch and talking for a minute.